There are many aspects to grit, so let's jump right into how grit is multifaceted. What is grit and why is it important? Angela Duckworth uncovered the idea of grit and what it means to be gritty through research and produced a definition of passion and perseverance for long-term goals. Grit is characterized as having perseverance and resilience to keep chasing passions. When gritty, an individual won't give up when challenges approach, instead takes them on and learns from them. Grit is important to have because life is always testing people's limits. What we decide to do during these challenges will show our character and how we decide to tackle these tests. Grit has shown to be connected to mindsets after Duckworth found studies done by Carol Dweck, who researched the growth mindset. There are two main mindsets, a fixed and a growth. A fixed mindset is the belief that learning is capped and there is no room for growth or change. Here in the picture you can see my example of a fixed mindset. Failure is the limit of my abilities. And there are many other examples here of a fixed mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that learning can constantly occur. There is always room for growth and change. And here in the picture you can see that all the different examples of a growth mindset, such as failure is an opportunity to grow. Grit can be developed from having a growth mindset since there is perseverance to keep learning and achieving these long-term goals. Grit and other personality traits. Since grit is believed to measure success, it ties closely in with many other personality traits such as the ones in the Big Five model, particularly conscientiousness, and then self-control. Conscientiousness is one of the more reliable traits in the Big Five model that predicts success. It is characterized as being disciplined and goal-oriented. Having this trait can work great with grit because when you are goal-oriented, grit will help you reach those goals when inevitable issues come along. Self-control is being able to pick one of two impulses that will get you to a certain goal, one being appealing but not rewarding, and the other being rewarding but not as easily obtainable. Grit and self-control can work well together because there are a lot of lower order goals that will help an individual get to their main goal. Having the self-control to help get through the lower order goals while staying gritty will get you to that main goal. A lot of people wonder if grit can even be taught and how to teach it. Grit can be taught to anyone at any age, but early intervention is best. If grit is taught to children, they will become successful adults. First, teachers and adults must know how to encourage children. Praising them every time they do something good and criticizing them every time they do something bad is going to create a fixed mindset. Educators should communicate with children and let them know that learning is not easy, but it can be accomplished through repeated hard work. Give them critical questions to answer to figure out the problem on their own. And encourage them by telling them you can do this even if it is difficult. Secondly, teachers and adults must create strategies that will work for their students. Every student, school, and curriculum is different, so there's no exact way to teach grit. Educators have to implement a solution that works for them. For example, a superintendent found that they had a lot of disciplinary problems and students weren't seeking their full potential. He did some research and came up with different classes like how to have good conversations and the consequences of behavior that he could implement into the school's curriculum in hopes of fixing these issues. He noticed that these classes were successful and reduced discipline problems and raised student achievement. Hopefully now you understand how grit is multifaceted and see that it's a very valuable trait we should all have. Grit is important to everyone, so be a good and an effective leader to teach others about grit and the importance. Personal teachings can really help someone turn a fixed mindset into a growth mindset and learn how to be gritty and become successful. Teaching our children about grit and other valuable personality traits will change our lives, and we will see much higher graduation rates and see successful children turn into successful adults and hopefully inspire others. So don't give up. Give it your all, redo it if necessary, ignore giving up, and take time to do it right.